following program is brought to you in living color on
Halt, trolley. Give me your name, rank, and serial number.
King Friday the 13th establishes border guard. King against change.
Hey, we're giving away a 3-month-old pack of Chesterfield cigarettes if anybody's interested. Oh, isn't this a suck, Gonzo? You know, you're supposed to iron, you got to iron your collar every now and then.
Yeah.
It's coming out all awry. I'm not supposed to look at that, though. Gonzo, Michael Gonzales, with an S.
With an S, yes.
Is here. Yeah, because I kept misspelling your name in the early days.
Gonzales.
No, Gonzales with a Z.
It was Gonzales for a while.
I spent a lot of my life in California, so, a person with a Hispanic name isn't that exotic. Speaking of which...
Is that what we're leading with?
No, we're going to talk about the mayor's race, because we got some information about the mayor's race. Do we have that?
I thought we were talking about the mayor.
Not Mayor Craig. We're talking about people that are going to be running for
potential mayor.
Yes.
I have a feeling Mayor Craig will go the distance.
If she runs. But we'll talk about that after the video. And as I told you, I'm developing a new parody song, too, about the mayor's race. So if you can cue, here we go.
Halt, trolley. Give me your name, rank, and serial number.
King Friday the 13th establishes border guard. King against change.
Oh, you guys like to tell jokes and giggle and kid around, huh? Giggling like a bunch of young bros in a schoolyard. Well, let me tell a joke.
By the way, those of you wondering why I sometimes put on a bit of a Spanish accent when I say
Hillary Clinton.
It all goes back to friends I have who live in the town of Londonderry.
Who worked the polls, or at least did back in 2008. They said all day long in that Democratic primary.
Hispanic voters. Now, we're talking Londonderry here. Hispanic voters all day long walking up to them, asking them, which one Hillary Clinton? Can't speak English,
can't read the ballot, but were there to vote for Hillary Clinton. Yeah. Okay. Now, I might understand that in Manchester, Ward 5, or Ward 11, or Ward 3, or maybe Ward 4. But Londonderry?
I didn't realize Londonderry was such a hotbed of Hispanic growth. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, maybe it's the apple orchards and the bucolic farms and all that. Yeah, it just screams Latino in Latin.
Here it comes, there it goes, and he ain't wearing no clothes.
Yeah, they call him the Squirt. If you see the internet blur.
Look at that.
Reject him and he'll go berserk. Manchester's number one jerk.
Look at that.
Let's go to a two-shot. I'm going to actually... You don't know who Rich Girard is?
I'm Googling him right now.
You don't know? So you don't know what that's about?
I guess he's a giant because he said he's large. Girard at large.
Well, he was, we have he was the first alderman at large. With
I know who Rich Girard is. He called into Matt Connerton's show, doesn't he?
Oh, jeez, no. He's one of the people we couldn't talk about on Matt Connerton's show.
Ah.
Just because.
That's for another show.
Yeah, which never does get taped.
On the dark web. Yeah. Of course, I'm prohibited for telling you about it.
By the way, I got the stuff about the newspapers and the mock-up. About the radio show.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
Afterwards.
I can't wait.
Got to decide which the newspaper size. But that's for the future. Along with this for Peter Stilla.
3.21 gigawatts later.
Hey, so what's been going on in the week? You cover. You don't. You're not on Peter. You don't go on Peter's show anymore.
No, I do.
Oh, you did go on?
No, well, all right. So,
it was Thursdays. You used to go on Thursdays.
I used to go on Thursdays.
But then they brought. I know his name, and he knows who. But
Robert Dion.
Robert Dion, one of the Dions.
Host of at exit left out of the stage door.
Right.
Left. Yeah.
He talks about the local theater.
Yeah.
And he's a very entertaining guy, very smart.
Very entertaining, very good.
And he started coming on Thursdays too.
So I was a shortstop, and I'm not the shortstop anymore. I found myself riding the pine, so I did some steroids like Brady Anderson did, and I started hitting home runs.
50.
And now I'm the new Friday guy.
Oh, that's nice.
I just did a COVID test, and my fourth one, and
that's right.
No COVID here.
That's one of the reasons Matt, because Jenny, has
health problems. I don't blame him.
And so during this period, well, the last year around this time too, they had a limited amount of people.
Was it this time? I don't think so. I wasn't aware of.
No, it was later than that.
Because this is like when Trump came to town.
Right.
And that was that was crazy, by the way.
Jeez, how long has COVID been going on?
We're at the around a year.
Yeah.
For me, anyway.
Oh, that's right. It was
COVID
January.
Was around in like March.
It was January because the Chinese held off on.
And then in April, we all lost our mind, and there was no toilet paper.
I have more toilet paper in my basement than you can believe, and I've given so much of it away.
Yeah, well,
I still got plenty.
It's like 89 cents. So.
It was more than that.
You thought that'd be a hot commodity?
No, I was giving it. I'm not hung up on money, which is why I am where I am today. I didn't buy the 1,000 shares of Apple at $9.
Yeah, you bought the share of Charmin.
No, I bought a car. But it's like my father said. Everybody thought he bought Microsoft because his stockbroker's up in Seattle in the 80s. And but he didn't buy it. He said, John, how many people didn't buy Microsoft or Apple? It's not like God is punishing you.
I've never worried about money because one thing God will do is He will say, Hey, you got $4,000 in the bank? Good job. Way to go. You love that cat of yours? He needs surgery. Hey.
Oh yeah, there goes $2,000.
You got no money in the bank? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I'm not gonna make you suffer. So you're gonna come into some money somehow. Like it all works out.
Yeah, I found this today. I've had this since the 4th grade. On the last day of the 4th grade. It is a John Adams presidential token. I found it today. And I'll just say, a goddess, her powers, found it for me again.
Is that the same coin that Christopher Walken put in his butt in Pulp Fiction?
Oh, good. Well, it's not really gold.
I don't really want to touch it, John. I just had a COVID
Oh, that's right.
test. So
Well, I
I'm clean
don't
now.
go out. I don't see anybody. But I do. I was at Market Basket the other day. So
That's cool. What is that, Ben Franklin?
I said John Adams.
Oh.
You have a shorter attention span than I do. Which
Oh,
is
yeah, I have ADD.
rather incredible.
I have ADD for sure.
You know, you haven't been diagnosed?
Squirrel!
So I'm not gonna. Something like that actually happened, but it wasn't a squirrel. It was something blowing by. It's like, geez, was that a rat? You're looking, it's a bag that just went.
Well, I've walked down Elm Street with you in the summer, and you get very distracted by
by everything.
the attire of certain females.
Who doesn't? But
Like, John, stay with me here. We're talking.
it's not like they're not wearing the stuff not to attract your attention, you know.
Well, not necessarily true.
It's always, you know, a good woman realizes a man's eyes
Boy,
wander.
here we go.
Then she'll teach you a lesson and tell you about all things that she knows is on a man.
Well, you know, my wife happens to be, you know, an attractive lady, and I see it. I see it all the time. They don't care. They don't even care that I'm walking next to her. They don't care that I'm walking next to her with a baby in the carriage. They're just going to go like this. It's like
a wedding ring, a baby in a carriage, and a dog. Those are all things to attract a woman's attention.
A dog.
I don't know what a wedding ring does.
I don't get
All of a
it
sudden,
either.
women start flirting with you like mad.
I had to get rid of mine because it was just too encumbrant.
Well, I know somebody that lost theirs because they're hiding.
Yeah.
While we were out together with other, you know, single women.
The single guys put
It wound
fake
up-
wedding rings on?
It fallen underneath my car, and I vacuumed it up, and you know, car vac. Here it is.
Like, sweet, that's $50. That's a year of MCTV.
I have 2 wedding rings. I'll tell you the story about that later because it's in bad taste.
No, tell me now.
No, I'll tell you afterwards.
All right.
Because people watch the show that you don't think are, and then it's
You
a person.
never know who's watching.
It's true. You say a story that you think, you know, this person can't possibly be watching. They're not even here right now. And then they see it. They're like livid.
He's one of the. You mean the person you married?
I
don't believe in adjectives. or
we'll cut that out, and we'll go to. I made a joke about my sister and about 2 people that had a show on Manchester. And she's always insulting the times I was on TV. And the only reason she watched was because when I started my TV show, my family had a pool. One was going to F-bomb.
What's her name? Can I say hi to her?
We'll call her D.
Hi, D.
D. And
she watches, John.
So you figure my oldest sister took 1 week. My sister D took 2 to 4, and my brother took everything over a month, and he won because I never did F-bomb. Not although people have on my show.
Would you say we're must-see TV?
We are seen by people inside the beltway, so to speak.
I mean, we don't get Will and Joe numbers, obviously, because we're not Will and Joe. However...
You mean Joe. Joe gets the numbers.
Well, either way.
Nobody. I like Will, but nobody really cares about him. It doesn't matter who's on it. The show with him.
We're a big... Yeah, because Will and Bill wouldn't cut the mustard.
Yeah. Or it would be a Will and Bill show.
But it could be Joe and Schmo, and it'd be big ratings, you see.
Joe gets... After Amsterdam, Joe had the biggest show. Amsterdam, if you went on Joe Lavasse's show and walked on Elm Street afterwards, people would recognize you. But if you went on Amsterdam, because that was the...
Oh, yeah.
My debut in 2013. It was Joe, then Amsterdam. Amsterdam, it's like triple the amount of people.
I know. My brother used to be like, when's Gorman's show on?
Now, come on, you must have... I'm out there and people would say hello to you. They don't even know who you are because they see you on TV.
They say hello to me, but they're mostly like, blank,
They
Gonzo.
recognize
No, well, more negative, like.
And the radio, people can tell you who you are from your voice. I
Sometimes-
have a distinct voice, and you do too.
Yeah, I do.
It's strange. I know you because of your voice.
Sometimes I'll be at Hannaford and I'll be talking to someone, and like I'll see someone looking and I'll be like, "What's your problem, bro?"
But then you learn that they know
Like,
who you
You're
are from.
Gonzo from the radio.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not me. It's not me. It is. It is. I'll do one picture. Yeah, right. No.
It's strange. And then you meet people that think they know you because they've listened to you and watched your show.
Oh, I love that. It's called.
I don't.
It's called sales.
I think it's bizarre.
I get a lot of. I sell some art to some.
Oh,
some
that's
people.
right. You are.
My wife's always like, "Why do you want to go on that stupid show, Ward 13?"
I thought TV would get me laid,
I'm like,
but it doesn't.
I'm like, because I'm trying to get laid, honey.
You can't tell her that, but that's the only reason. It just didn't work out that way. And then watching the show, like the edit or anything, I realized why. I'm really obnoxious.
Well, the morning show is basically the catalyst for everything for me, anyway. Like,
the morning show's its own.
People have really, that show's definitely grown.
Peter White
sure.
has established himself as a Manchester institution.
Yeah.
He has.
And he really has. And
I haven't talked to him since I didn't write the story about him for that I proposed.
Well,
but, oh, my God, that
I'll tell you what,
campaign knocked the crap out of me.
I give him a lot of crap on the radio and all that, but he's humble. He is. He gets it. I mean, just that Miracle on Elm Street thing he did.
He knows. He knows.
He's like, I thought I'd
media.
get $500-600, $10,000. And now Matt Cushane did a lot of work too.
Right.
But everyone piggybacked. Like even like the employees here and everyone just got behind it and like even I gave $10. And I got tons of money. But I was like, I don't want Peter to, just buy scratch tickets with it. So I didn't give him that much. No.
Just not the football pool.
No, I'm just kidding.
But that was Amsterdam days.
I'll tell you what.
That's a funny story, but we won't go into it.
He has a lot of ears. I'll tell you, when he's not on the air for a week, people like kind of miss it. The morning show. Yeah. It's the morning show.
The morning show with Peter White.
With Peter White.
That's right.
That's right.
And he survived like Dean Martin survived when Jerry Lewis left.
Yeah, because Joel was... That's just obnoxious, John.
What?
You don't have to gloat that you have a phone.
No, I got this. I can't take the call. Sorry.
Oh, you're taking it.
No, I'm not.
Who is it? One of the marriages? She's like, stop talking about me. It's your sister.
I helped her yesterday.
That's good.
Mm.
Well, I know it wasn't with money.
No, I snowblowed for her.
Considering you park at the church for free and walk all the way down.
No, I paid my quarters. I actually have some now.
I maxed out.
2 hours?
I just maxed out.
Why?
Because I got $1.50.
Did you tell Norm you're not going to be in his show?
I did, but I feel like he should have seen that coming since he's a psychic and all.
Well,
I mean, I don't know why I had to call him and tell him I'm not going to be there because he's a psychic. Duh.
Hey, can we put the camera on my pal here?
It's already
because I got to
on.
send a message to something. Well, this could be something serious.
All right, so what are we talking about today? We're talking about...
What do you want to talk about? All the stuff we said we were going to talk about last week, we're not talking about.
Well, let's talk about Valley Street's better. I hear the numbers are down to 10% now.
Do you really want to talk about that?
No.
Well, who's your favorite stooge?
I don't know if I have a favorite stooge.
How can you not have a favorite stooge? Well, here we go then.
I'm not 70, so...
Shemp or Curly?
Curly.
Right, but do you like Shemp too?
Yeah, it's like Nomar or Xander Bogaerts. Nomar. Like, come on.
That's not
That was my
quite... well, maybe that is.
He's quite... Who's better? I mean, who long term?
Well, Curly was a genius, but, so we have to put him off into another category.
Right. Well, you're a genius, and that's gotten you nowhere.
Well, that's IQ-wise, which, that's something when you're 10 years old, but when you're 60, what the hell?
Yet you're awful at trivia night.
No, I used to win trivia all the time.
When you
you mean lately? They ask these stupid questions about science.
Yeah.
I don't know about science. I haven't read about science since I was 17 years old.
Right.
This was Manchester. They didn't teach us there were subatomic particles other than an electron, a proton, and a neutron.
He says subatomic particles, but he doesn't know about science.
Subatomic particles. Yeah, but, they didn't teach us about neutrinos and stuff. This was Manchester.
Let's talk about how you called Manchester cowards last week.
Yeah, but, they have every right to be.
Do you want to retract that a little bit?
When have I ever not said that?
Because I was thinking about that, and I didn't really.
Let's go to the two-shot. I don't, I've got a double chin. If I was wearing my mask, it'd be another thing. Oh, I got a new thing to cut my hair with. I did a good job, I think.
I love how he's not switching.
Come on, Manchester is full of cowards. Who gives a fart? I thought about that, and, they have a right to. Because people, they'll go, people I know, they go to a meeting at City Hall, they'll speak out, and nobody will be there to help them or defend them. And then Stinky Girard will friggin' just attack them. Not Joe, usually. Not Levasseur. Levasseur has his problems, but he's not like Girard.
So when did you come around on him? Because I came out with this take Joe Kelly Levasseur
because he hasn't done anything to me. He hasn't done anything to me in a year.
I said he's the rock star of Manchester now.
Yeah, but he had done something to me.
And then now you're like rock star.
Do you want me to bring my old Dell and show you all the stuff on it, all the emails, all the stuff to the attorney general and to mayors and city? No, they're not. I'll show them to you. I've shown them to Jim O'Connell on air.
Let's talk about Rich Girard. You say he's running against
supposedly
right?
The grapevine is Girard is running for mayor, and so is Arthur Sullivan, the developer, which I find odd.
We were outside and we heard it from the horse's mouth. Mr. Tim Baines himself.
Oh, you big mouth.
He said I made it public. I'm focusing on my pizza
Oh, well, Tim Baines isn't running.
Yeah, he said I'm not doing it.
You didn't explain that. You see, the way you put it, it's like we heard about Rich Girard from him.
Because I'll tell you what, that would have been like Secretariat against Seabiscuit.
Well, when I left...
A couple of horses in the race right there. But he's out.
Secretariat against Seabiscuit? Who would be Secretariat?
I don't know. It's the only two good horses I know.
Are we talking about Tim Baines as a mayor, or are we talking about Stinky?
If Tim Baines ran for mayor,
he would give Girard lost by 60-40 to Tim Baines' father.
I'm talking about
Bob.
I'm talking about if Tim Baines did run for mayor, he would have given the incumbent a very good run for her money.
Incumbent?
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah.
Incumbent.
Well,
usually I would say something like that.
Right. Well,
here it was when I went off to New Mexico.
I'm very educated.
The word on the street was Sununu, who has done everything he can to undermine Joyce Craig because he thought she was going to run for governor, and now he's decided to run for senator, by the way, against Maggie Hassan.
Oh, is he?
He was encouraging, and this is the rumor mill, he's encouraging Ted Gasbag to run for mayor, which would have been ridiculous. But Gasbag has lots of money, and can raise
Who's
money.
Gasbag? I heard Gatsis. Now, I'll tell you what. You have
a very supple mind.
You want to bring back Amsterdam. That was a moment.
What were you smoking earlier? Was that just a Marlboro?
I told you that.
1,000-millimeter one?
I told you. It was a Marlboro.
Well, I used to know a gal back in California that.
But listen to me. Focus here.
Tobacco with some pot.
Talk about me being on focus. Jeez. So.
Isn't that part of the fun?
So is Ted Gassis running for mayor?
I said it was a rumor. That was the rumor that Sununu wanted Gasbag to run.
Because he could probably give her a good run too.
Because he has money, but he would go down by 3,000 votes.
Because Victoria Sullivan
lost by
5,000.
Monumental, yeah.
Right.
Well, see, the Republicans live in a fantasy land where they say the only reason Gatsis lost was because 2,000 students came out and voted, and if they're more Trumpite, it's probably illegally.
Was it tight? Was that a tight finish?
No.
She won handily.
She beat Gasbag by 2,000 votes, and she beat Victoria Sullivan by, like Chris. Who's the guy? Good God, I can't remember his name. Oh, folks, I was in New Mexico, not thinking about any of this crap, and it was like being free. It was like being 30 years. I was like 30 years old again.
We weren't thinking about you either.
Chris Herbert. Oh, yeah, people were. I always was getting stuff. You were, can I do your show? Well, you're never on time.
No, I'm not.
If you can
20
come 50,
seconds.
If you can come 50.
If he's 20
here
seconds,
15
so we said.
minutes early, it's going to be. But you said you can't.
Do the long intro.
Well, we always had like a 5-minute intro because it used to be you have to go in, and switch at night.
Okay.
So that
Gassis
was the
loses
rumor.
mayor. Then he gets his new position.
Let's not talk about Gasbag.
Do you think he would still be? You can run for mayor a million times,
He's
right?
not going to run for mayor.
But can you, in theory, be mayor forever?
Why couldn't you?
I don't know if there were term limits.
What do you think? It's in the Constitution?
I didn't know if there were term limits.
I've never heard of local term limits. I've heard
Is there anyone in our lifetime that has been there for like 10 years?
Jerry Brown was the governor of California, where a woman I lived with was 12 years old, and then he was when she was in her mid-50s.
I'm talking more geared to Manchester. What's the longest term?
That French-Canadian was his name, Benoit. Or I might be thinking of Benoit Balls. I don't know. That Heidi Hamer. He just corrupted me. But
what about
his name was Benoit.
He was there for a while, right? He got his own on-ramp.
He had, of recent years, he had 4. Did he have... Brendan, I don't know. Is he 5 straight terms? Yeah, 5 straight terms.
What do you think? This is Joe Rogan? You can just ask him to pull stuff up for you.
Yeah, he's good at that.
You're asking the wrong person.
Well, you weren't here 10 years ago?
How about that? 2-year terms, right?
Oh, who gives a damn about Ted Gatzis? Now, let's get to when I got back.
2-year terms, right?
More than 10 years ago. When I first came here, it was Gint was in office, I believe.
Yeah, Ginta. When Ginta went to Congress.
And he had, 4 years? Probably.
Yes, he had 2 terms. So Gatzis had 4.
4. So he had 8 years.
Yeah.
That might be the record.
The Wiz had 10 years, and Benoit back in the 40s had 20. He was 10 straight terms.
Right, Benoit Schmenoit. But
Benoit's famous for the thing about the statue. Was it Kozlowski Park? That Kozlowski was great, but Lafayette was better.
I called him Benoit.
Benoit, there you go, or Benoit, whatever.
So the Wizard, yeah, it's funny.
We get back to January, because we're going to be calling Peter Stilla, for some comic relief, since you are stuck in this rut. And I get back, and they're talking about Arthur Sullivan's going to run for mayor. And the question to ask, I can't see Arthur Sullivan running against Joyce Craig, is the Republicans are putting out this thing that Joyce Craig's not running for re-election.
What?
She's going to be running for governor because it's going to be vacant in
Look at me.
2022.
Look at me, Joyce. This is me talking to you.
Do you remember what Tim Baines said?
You need to stay here in Manchester. We
Keep it
do
on,
appreciate you. You are
water.
an underappreciated asset here. You may not return my calls, but I still...
Good God, why should she?
I know, like she's going to come on here and let me do a solo interview.
Why not? She should.
We need you, because if you leave, we don't have a formidable Democrat.
Arthur Sullivan.
Will not be. If Mayor Craig leaves the post, there will be a lot of heavy hitters that would not normally come in because they know they wouldn't beat her.
What do you think, will run?
I don't think he wants to. I don't know.
He told me once everybody wants to be mayor.
I think if he ran, he'd probably do good.
You know who I'd run for mayor is Peter White. I told him to run for
He can't run for mayor.
Why not?
I mean, he does show up every day for work.
Which is more than we can
every single day.
We can barely get ourselves here once a week.
He doesn't want to be. Pete doesn't want to be mayor, dude.
He doesn't want. He could. He will. He could have a chief of staff.
He wants to get out of here at 2:00 every day. So
who says a mayor has to do anything?
The mayor has to do a lot.
Well, they don't have to go to the school board anymore if they
And
they don't want to.
that crap Lavassa said about her having her car parked there for appearances, that's not true. She puts the time in. You're telling me she doesn't work 60 hours a week? Like, she believes me. Like, good job, Mayor. Don't leave, because if you leave, you're going to lose the Democrat spot. Bottom line.
There isn't Democrats. It's nonpartisan.
Okay.
So why would Arthur Sullivan be thinking of running? Why would he run against Joyce Craig?
Because
they've worked together about the schools and everything.
Because you might be right. She might feel unappreciated. Just like for instance, the morning show. Carol Roberto stopped doing the morning show.
When did that happen?
People were like bashing her the whole time, and she left. She goes, "Well, I'm out of here." And now they're like, "Oh man, Andy hasn't really hit his stride yet."
Who?
The replacement, Andy.
Andy who?
Andy Silva.
Who's
Silva.
that? Oh, the kid that writes
for the paper.
paper.
No, he does good.
Oh, I know who he is.
He does good. Carol did it for 5 years, and people were getting on her, and like she left. And it's like, you don't know what you got till it's gone. You really don't.
So the show's entirely male now.
Well, there's Daryl.
Daryl's a man.
I know.
What is you saying that he's transgendered?
No. It was a joke. I meant Stacy Lawton.
What, he's on Matt's show? He's on Matt's show. I don't believe in transgender.
Anyway.
Did you ever read the so-called science?
Well, you're not a Democrat, obviously.
No, you are a conformist like McCarthyite.
My point is, Mayor Craig, don't leave, because if you leave, then you're gonna basically give it up to the other people, and then the aldermanic meetings take a different turn. Because if I'm not right, if I'm wrong, is she not a tiebreaker in some major votes?
What did Tim?
Am I
Bain
wrong about
say?
that? Is she a tiebreaker or not?
What did Tim Bain say?
He
said it's a thankless job the way the city is now.
He said, "I'm out. Tell who you got to tell."
You can't remember.
I'm out.
See, that's why you can't be a journalist.
Well, he said I was a great.
You can't remember all the other stuff.
He said I was a great baseball player.
Oh yeah, that
was my takeaway.
Yeah, that's when I just zone out.
Yeah, I know.
All this stuff, we played baseball.
I'm more of a stat guy than a player. But
no, I just don't listen to all this nonsense. I call it
Arthur Pappas.
Central
I've heard of Arthur
High
Pappas.
Gore.
Great.
You went to Central High, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God! If I hear anything about Central High, they're going to close it down. I'll be there waving a flag for West.
Listen.
I'm so sick of hearing about
Central High. No matter who runs against Craig, will lose.
Central High.
If Craig stays, she'll win.
Central High beat us in everything when I was at West.
Did you hear me? If she stays,
she'll
win.
Empire.
If she leaves, Democrats will lose.
It's not Democrats.
Is she not a deciding vote on a lot of the votes? Is she
Who cares?
I've been watching a few meetings, and she has to.
We're just talking about the candidates. Stinky Girard. Will Keith
I don't
Hirschman
really count
run?
him. I don't
Will
think
Joe
he
Lavasser?
I don't think
if Joyce Craig doesn't run, Joe Lavasser has a chance.
If Girard runs again, if it's Girard versus Craig, it's a landslide.
Well, she wins by 70%.
Right.
He can't run because of all the scandals.
Can she win governor though? And does she want to be governor?
Who wouldn't want to be governor? They don't do anything.
I don't. I gotta tell you.
Until COVID, they didn't do a damn thing.
I gotta tell you, I voted for.
Yeah, because you're a jackass and a fool. That because of that.
He trounced me.
Yeah, because you're a conformist and a damn fool.
And I don't do the research.
A damn fool.
Like a lot of people.
But it's okay to be a fool.
A lot of fools are out there voting.
Oh, I would say most of them are.
It's a fool's game, really.
I agree with what Mr. Carlin said. Voting is a waste of time.
Well, we know you agree with that theory.
Although locally, maybe not, but.
Well, I don't know.
Anybody would vote for Sunil.
So the big news is Girard's at large running for mayor.
It's just a rumor.
But
where is he going to get money from?
That ain't news.
Who would give him money to run? So that the little Mel scandal can come back? That he harassed that 18-year-old Central High girl? Speaking of Central High. Come on. I know that people have a box turtle has a longer attention span than your average
not
person.
to talk about, and then you just go right there.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have some fun from now on.
Oh my God. Okay.
I don't give a damn. I'm never gonna run for anything.
We should
again.
just call it Ward Gonzo.
No, we have it. It's Ward 13. See, Ward 13.
I
What's
thought-
Ward 13 cents up there?
You were gonna change the name, I thought.
Screw that.
Yeah. Keep it the same. You know, you got a brand.
Can you sing? Because I certainly can't.
I can sing.
Okay, you'll sing the songs on the parodies.
I can sing high. I can sing low. Well, I don't want to sing right now, John. Not at all.
Do you ever sing karaoke?
Of course I do. I could do Love Shack like nobody's business.
Well, what is? I've heard the title, and I'm sure I've heard the song. How does Love Shack go?
First of all, the B-52s are one of the greatest bands
Oh,
in the world.
well, I don't remember.
And they're not all just
because I was
Shack.
stoned back then.
The twos aren't all just Shack. They got Rome. They got.
Oh, you should put the camera on him while I look up Peter's number. We're gonna have Peter Holler on next week.
Yeah, Peter White won't call in while you're on the.
I'm talking about Peter Stilla, not Peter White's. Peter White's been on my show. He's my first guest.
Yeah, I know. I watched that show.
Then I got progressively,
And he got-
problems with PTSD.
And he got progressively huge.
I got down to 172 pounds, but I bought this coat. Hey, you can put it back on me now. Look it buttoned when I had it, and I'm pulling in my gut.
Boy,
Not a button again, huh?
you look like George Foreman when he wore those.
When he
those
won the
shorts-
title
when he wore
last
those
time.
shorts, yeah.
Hey, what happened to the phone? Oh, you have to turn. You have to press this. Is the phone dead? Where's Brendan?
So why do you call him?
See?
Why do you call
What
him
happened to
Stinky?
it?
Why do you call him
I don't know.
Stinky?
I'll have to check it after your show.
Well, we'll call him this way.
John, why do you call him Stinky?
We're not talking about Girard anymore.
Oh, okay.
He's a real downer.
We're down. All right.
He's an FA too.
He's off the syllabus.
Hello?
I almost F-bombed. Hey, our phone is dead, but I got you on my iPhone. Oh, can we put Peter, we can do the two-shot with Peter in the middle again. That was so efficacious the last time.
God, is it that same picture that,
Yeah, well, you're wearing that stupid hat that I put on you. Oh, I'm looking here. Of course, it's not there.
Yeah, I remember that picture. That kind of looked like the cover of Aqualung.
Well, perhaps you could send a better picture. I had to pick this off the newspaper website.
Efficacious is an
Yeah,
adjective
maybe I should.
of something inanimate or abstract, successful in producing a desired or intended result.
Yeah, because Frank Morgan and Bombshell said it's time for an efficacious libation.
Efficacious.
Remember that?
Wow.
Oh, man. Efficacious is a great word. It's a favorite of ours.
Hey, I just have to warn you, warn the family and the friends and your fans that the first half hour of the show frankly sucked because we were talking about Manchester, New Hampshire politics, which is a cesspool.
Good God. Do you have any
Someone's
viewers or
bitter.
listeners or whatever you call them left?
We used to down at City Hall, but then I got mad just before I went off to New Mexico and something happened. But
You're just
we
mad.
don't talk about those
You're
things.
mad because you're the Glass Joe of Manchester politics.
What does Glass Joe mean?
He's the guy that's like 0-99 in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
I don't know what that means.
Glass Joe, he's the guy that just doesn't win anything. And I was assuming you haven't won an election in Manchester?
It took Phil Griazzo 9 times to win an office. This is New Hampshire.
That's true. So
I don't run. I run to make points.
You know, there's still a Hopwood sign at Hannaford and Hooksett.
Hooksett?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember putting
It's
those up.
right
It's one of
there.
the old ones, right?
It's the only
There's plenty
sign
in
there.
my sister's backyard, too.
It's the
She's
only
going to
sign.
use them for insulation. Now, we're talking. What are we going to talk? Oh, hey, Brendan, can you zoom in on this? You were right, Peter. I did have the Emmy nomination certificate that Shelley Duvall gifted you with back in 1980.
Oh, man. Those were the days.
Yeah, after you did that interview with her, comforting her after what Kubrick did to her on the set of The Shining.
It was barbaric.
To be careful, because
I can see it.
if I don't have to send it back, I'm going to put it on eBay.
I can look.
Jesus, if only I'd found this like 5 years ago when she was in the news for going crazy, we could have cleaned up on eBay.
Is that
I
a
heard
Elvira?
Kubrick was actually threatening her
axe that Jack had to wield, throughout filming, and like when they were off camera, you would just like scare the what out of her, just to get her in the mood for acting terrified on camera.
Well, he did, but Jack Nicholson, who in Los Angeles was known as the Irishman, which, outside of the Boston area, being called an Irishman is not complimentary, because basically he drank, did all sorts of drugs, gambled, and cheated on his living girlfriend.
It says here she said that Robin Williams is alive.
Who says that?
Shelley Duvall.
What year did she put that up?
2016.
Well, yeah, that's when we should have put this on eBay.
Heartbreaking details of Shelley Duvall's life.
Doug Dutzman, he was the president of the ATAS,
So what's that all about? Our friend here, Pete, had something to do with that?
Well, he was a journalist.
No kidding.
What was your favorite interview of a celebrity? Was it Jimmy Stewart?
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, that was awesome. First of all, he was still alive.
So was Darla of the Little Rascals, but we won't go into that on this show.
Yeah, Jimmy was appearing at the Santa Barbara Film Festival.
Oh, yeah.
And I went down there as a press person from the Ojai Valley News. And, I got to ask him a question and everything. It was pretty awesome.
Well, he's the one, he thought that Henry Fonda had been underrated as an actor.
And he also said, and Duke Wayne was a darn good actor, too.
Well, I know they were close friends.
Yeah.
I remember Henry Fonda, who was a registered Republican most of his life, but still got blacklisted because he was a liberal. Because remember, there were liberal Republicans, Rockefeller and Lafayette in 24. The New York Times denounced him as a radical, even though he's a Republican running on the progressive ticket, like Teddy Roosevelt. And
they used to call them Yankee Republicans, and now they're like as common as the dodo.
Yeah, but because like Mitt Romney's father, George Romney, was a Rockefeller, was close to Rockefeller too. But I remember Henry Fonda in an interview said there was a time like during Roosevelt in the 40s where he realized they were aggressive friends that they just couldn't talk politics anymore. So they never talked politics for like the next 30 years, which is good because people have different beliefs, religion, politics.
That's right. It's like it's a wide world full of diversity.
Yeah, I was talking to my producer-director, Brendan. He's a great fan of stuff like, the attack of the lobster people and stuff like that. That in a couple weeks or so we'll do a show. We'll do about freaks from 1932. Maybe you should do a show actually about freaks. Peter had the copy of the book. What was that book on freaks that you had? No.
Very special people.
Very special people. Yeah. Are you the guy that knew Lobster Boy before he got murdered?
No. Although a friend of mine knew Johnny Eck before he died.
That's right. It was Edward X. Young, who's been on the show, but then he got banned by Paul Cormier because he was so crazy, and he saw Lobster Boy. His shtick at the carnival was reading a newspaper. He had this deformity with his hands, like lobster claws.
Yeah, I know who Lobster Boy is.
Oh yeah, because he got murdered. Well, where did you hear about Lobster Boy?
Well, they had a show on A&E about Coney Island's freak show. And,
which got banned in '64.
Like the Lobster grandson was on it.
Oh, they had Lobster Boy's grandson.
Yeah.
They were all lobsters.
Yeah, they were all.
They're all lobsters.
They're all actual real lobsters.
That like the lobster claw gene was.
They mated with a lobster in Maine, I think it was.
So he gave birth. Well, not him, but Mrs. Lobster gave birth to many lobster children.
Well, my mother was 4'11", and my father said I was going to be 6 foot tall. He didn't factor in my mother's genetic makeup there. I didn't make it, obviously. Neither did my brother.
Yeah. If you want to do a show about freaks, color me in there.
As long as we leave out about Daisy Earles and that unfortunate incident with Forrest Tucker, everything will be fine. Because this is a family show.
I don't think freaks are
bring
very.
a tear to my eye. I hated to think about Daisy going out that way.
Yeah.
I don't see the popularity in freaks anymore. I feel like
Why?
because of the
Diana
way
Arbus
society is,
loved
and they just can't be another freak show anymore. Like
Why?
because it's like exploitation. And, you know.
Tell them about Johnny Eck.
Oh man, Johnny Eck was awesome, and he lived to be. You would think like a guy with no body under his rib cage would not live very long. He was almost 90, I think.
Did he have?
He outlived his twin brother.
Now, were they like Prince Rordan?
Ronnie Eck.
Were they like Prince Rordan, the Worm Man? What did they call him? The Snake Man or the Worm Man?
I called him Sausage Man.
Sausage Man.
It seemed to make sense.
Who had? Did they have genitals? Because Prince Rordan was the father of many children. Oh, we need the clips.
Well, John, wasn't that your nickname in San Francisco, Sausage Man?
No. You're thinking of the Sequoia.
Now, this guy used to levitate? Is that what he did?
Johnny Eck, yeah.
Johnny Eck.
Oh, well, bring it in, and then you can hold it up and zoom it in.
That's kind of cool. I mean...
Johnny Eck only had half a body. And do you remember
He was terrific. He was very talented. Yeah. He ran as fast on his hands as many people do on their feet.
Do you remember when the shock when we found out that Schlitzie was not female but actually a man?
It's pretty small.
Anything that involves Schlitzie is a shock because...
Here, hand it to me. I'll
actually, if you're doing your wielding on the internet,
Careful, John.
Schlitzie will come up right away.
The computer's worth more than your car.
That's what she was most known as, Schlitzie.
Anyway.
Her real name was Harold Metz or something like that.
Yeah, Schlitzie was a pinhead, and that's where we got Zippy the Pinhead.
He used to do this and just levitate, and he had no bottom torso.
Yeah. Well, we'll do the show. We can show it. But, my friend Gonzo here is Mr. Sensitivity. He's more 20 years younger than us.
Well, no, I think
he wasn't brought up. Robert Crumb could never exist in this society.
I think the world is more sensitive now because a lot of wrongs have been righted in...
Well, how can you say that somebody goes to a freak show like Diana Arbus, that she's not sensitive? These people, they're taking pride in themselves.
I understand that, but...
How else do you think the Elephant Man was going to make a buck?
Or survive. They probably would have taken them out and shot them or something,
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just don't think it would be that popular now. I bet if they opened up in Times Square, it would be not a lot. Like, look at the damn circus is gone now.
But an old fart like me, raised in those... not that you could ever stand staying in them, but, you go to college in like 1978 in the old combat zone before they got murdered that Harvard football player and started closing the dump down, who was raised in the freewheeling 70s and 80s. You occasionally come across pornography now and people are tattooed like that. Used to go to a carnival to see tattoos like that.
You occasionally come across pornography.
Rod Steiger, after he won the Oscar, made The Illustrated Man. I'm a freak.
You occasionally come across it, John.
And, people are body modified and everything. So, this, it's enough to put you off your food, At least inside a carnival, you know what you're getting.
There's all kinds.
A major subset in our porn industry today is midget porn.
Let's not get into that. The morning show had the midget stripper on, but that was many years ago. No, not the morning show. It was Amsterdam.
Yeah.
But,
not the morning show.
Well, midget bowling. See, Massachusetts was always so uptight. New York and down in Georgia and Atlanta, they had midget bowling, but that was like banned and all. Not midget bowling. They used to have midget wrestling.
See, I'm uncomfortable with that word.
They had no midget...
wrestling.
For another 6 inches shorter, and I'm a midget.
I don't like the word wrestling.
Midget wrestling was awesome.
Yeah, they didn't...
Remember that guy Sky Lolo?
Well, they didn't have it up here. They had every other, wrestling. They had it in Mass?
Put it this way.
At the Boston Garden. It was always, part of the, the worldwide...
Put it this way.
They would have, what they would call an undercard.
Remember Archie Bunker used to love midget wrestling.
You're talking about the most successful of the little people. Now,
Little people.
you're naming off about these people, but there's other people that's their stigma now. I'm like, I don't know.
Hey, I've been discriminated against. I'm short.
Well,
you know,
yeah.
if you're under 5'7",
Not by me though. I haven't.
If you're under 5'7", your income drops off precipitously. Unless you're in Hollywood, and then you got, you're a producer. You know, it's funny in Hollywood. There are all those short guys that are producers, and you see them like in $1,000 slacks and with this like 6-foot model on their arm. It's so weird. I thought that was just a stereotype. The Napoleonic complex.
Precipitously.
A couple of years ago, John, in the summer, it was just like, I was in Boston with the wife and children, and we were like in the, I forget what, it was either the Copley or like the Marriott, one of those downtown hotels, and it happened to be the Little People's National Convention was being held that day.
Is that where you saw the strippers?
Everything was it was such a fun day. They're very fun little people.
Oh my gosh. Precipitously, very steep, perpendicular, or overhanging in rise or fall.
Well, Daisy Earles, how tall was she? About 3 feet tall. She was part of the Doll family.
That's right.
We are people, we revere Harry Earles, who starred with Lon Chaney in not just one film, The Unholy Three, but in the only sound film Lon Chaney ever made, which The Unholy Three also. And what did that film critic Leonard Maltin say about Harry Earles' performance as the midget?
The midget Earles is largely incoherent.
Which he was, but
so if a precipitously proportioned person came up to you and said, "John,"
they always do.
I would like you not to use that word, the M word.
Precipitous. What does that mean?
I'd like you to stop using the M word on me.
What's M word mean?
The M word you're using to describe these
You mean midgets?
Yeah.
They are midgets.
Would you stop?
If you're 4 foot, my mother was technically a midget.
Is that the technical term?
Yeah, if you're under 5 feet tall.
Okay. But now, don't you think, like, with all the statues being taken on... No, we shift our gears, though. We move on.
Come on. You're so full of crap, We're going to celebrate Harry and Daisy Earles.
You need to be woke.
And you won't be here.
You need to be woke.
They were siblings, actually.
Underneath. Yeah. We're going to show freaks where Harry is precipitously done in by Olga Baklava, who gets her comeuppance, doesn't she?
Look, Harry, I mean, every American adult, every adult anywhere should see freaks at least once.
Yeah. This is what I'll say about Peter White, 6'3" or 6'4". He does not suffer from that big man syndrome where he's just a PRICK to people that are shorter than him. He is a good guy.
Well, I've been to
some guys that are tall are real holes.
I've been to a donkey show in Tijuana.
How tall are you?
He's wonderful to me.
Oh, but that's right. Until Brendan came back, I was the shortest man in Manchester.
Peter White is 6'4".
You went to a donkey show in Tijuana?
I did.
Well, we're not going to talk about that stuff.
Well,
you're being a vulgarian now. That's perverted. I'll tell you after about my friend, woman friend that was in Amsterdam, but that's beyond the thing. That's illegal, even in Amsterdam.
I didn't know it was.
You never went to Tijuana.
I did. Yeah, I did. I lived in San Diego. I went down.
Where did you live in San Diego?
In La Mesa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How long?
Not long. It's expensive there.
5
months, maybe. I just
Why were
needed
you there with a girl?
No, I just went on my own.
Why didn't you join the Corps? You could have stayed. You could have stayed at the Marine base.
I saw some guy on TV pick an orange off a tree, and I said, I want to do that. I moved out there.
Yeah, but I don't know if you can eat them.
I worked at SeaWorld, and then I got offended by that.
Yeah, what they do to, if you want to really talk about offensive stuff, what they do to orcas.
Yeah.
Hey, we want to go with that ending, which is 2 minutes long, so we'll go early to that. Because this, I didn't realize we had Mr. Sensitivity.
It says here 89% of small people would like you to stop using the word that you've been using.
A fart? Who
well, they do.
Are you?
They do.
6'1"?
I'm 6'1", yeah.
Oh, well, I'm against you then.
Well, yeah, you're at the low end of the spectrum, and I'm at the higher end.
Yeah, 93% of all adult males are taller than me. So if I want to say midget, I'll say midget.
I
Dwarf.
I prefer
too.
you didn't.
Hey,
They
look
don't
at
like that anymore.
look at dwarfs.
I don't know.
Everybody associates dwarfs. Well, they used to be evil, but after Walt Disney.
How about Munchkin?
I have a grumpy hat. Munchkins. We will talk about this in 2 weeks, but we won't bring Mr.
Who's your favorite dwarf?
Woke here. I never saw it. My mother never took us to the movies. She took us to Mary Poppins, and that put me asleep. Years later, when I was in my 20s, I was watching it with my niece, and I was like, holy smoke, no wonder why Julie won the Oscar. Little did I know.
Yeah, my mom took me to see Peeping Tom. I was scarred for life.
I'll never forget. I'm like in my 20s, and I'm watching Mary Poppins. And, she was a very sexy woman, Julie Andrews, dressed prim and proper. And there's these turtles, these comic, horrifying Disney. Disney had lost his art after the 40s, where they're just these standardized Disney turtles leering at her. I had to leave.
Yeah, I don't know.
You were jealous of a turtle.
Yeah.
I never thought of that.
I haven't seen Mary Poppins, and I don't know if I
You
will.
should show it to your kids, and then show the movie with Tom Hanks and that great English actress. They did a thing about Mary Poppins.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, because you're a jerk. I'm going to use the J word.
I saw the Green Mile the other night. What a bunch of flop that was.
Oh, I love the Green Mile. We can talk about the thing about movies is, people have such wildly different perceptions of them. It's not like novels or stuff. What you think is brilliant, another person thinks,
Well, Tom Hanks.
I'll just leave it on this because we got to go early and we'll bring you back. But you're the one who said Every Which Way But Loose was horse,
Oh, God, that was...
Don't say the whole word. And, like Paul Cormier and I agree, it's genius. And, who are you to say that? Right?
I'm thinking Ruth Gordon was wasted in that movie.
Ruth Gordon is the risen Christ of actresses. Now, and we won't get into the orangutan, which I'm sure, tempered your...
Oh, Right Turn, Clyde?
Yeah.
I like that movie.
Yeah, it's a classic. Hey, we'll come back next week. I'll have the jerk on here, Mr. Woke himself. But 2 weeks from now, we're going to talk about freaks and midgets and dwarfs. Lobster people. Well, we'll probably have you on for balance, right? Show them your LOL shirt as we say away. Bye, Peter.
One more time. Mayor Craig, do not bow out.
Okay. See you next.
Always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the bright side of life. Some things in life are bad, they can really make you mad. Other things just make you swear and curse. When you're chewing on life's gristle, don't grumble, give a whistle. This'll help things turn out for the best. If life seems jolly rotten, there's something you've forgotten, and that's to laugh and smile and dance and sing. When you're feeling in the dumps, don't be silly chumps. Just purse your lips and whistle, that's the thing. So always look on the bright side of death. Just before you draw your terminal breath. Life's a counterfeit when you look at it. Life's a laugh and death's the joke, it's true. You see, it's all a show. Keep them laughing as you go. Just remember the last laugh is on you.